COVID-19 has hit us all in some capacity, some harder than others. But think about it. No matter how tough your circumstances may be, chances are they could always be a little worse. In some way, we're all completely dependent on someone else in order to meet our basic needs. The need for food, clothes, housing, medical necessities. Now think about everything that's been happening over the course of the last few months. Stores closing down, supply chain breaking down, over 30 million people claiming unemployment benefits for the first time, trillions of dollars in helicopter money being given to many businesses and individuals just to get through the next couple months. Not to mention how fear is being spread as far as the eye can see, causing people to make decisions and face circumstances that were once thought as impossible and unthinkable. Fear. The fear of someone coming too close to you. The fear of leaving your own house. The fear of contracting a virus that has governed the headlines of every media outlet out there for months. Fear. I know, it's been tough. Now imagine you're a local food pantry in somewhat of a small city. Your pantry is dependent on local stores and members of your community in order to operate, in order to survive. Your food pantry is necessary and essential for over 30% of your community under normal circumstances. But now your community has had to lay off thousands of people, and thousands more have been ordered to stay at home, unable to earn a paycheck or operate their business. Your food pantry now meets the needs of not only over 30% of the people in your community living under the poverty line, but now people who have never set foot into a food pantry are coming and asking for their needs to be met also. Not only can you not shut down your food pantry, but you have an additional 37% of people in your community coming and relying on you to meet their most basic and essential need for food to feed themselves and their children. Oh yeah. Did I mention that almost all of your volunteers have stopped being able to volunteer for one reason or another? And did I forget to mention that all the generous retailers in your community who once donated many resources that you use to meet people's needs have lost the ability to do what they've once done so regularly? And the generous people in your community who used to give so much are now unable to do so because of the hardships that they and their families are now facing. Oh, I forgot to mention that your pantry is largely funded by a retail shop where you accept donations of clothing and household items, sell those items, and the proceeds provides over 35% of your pantry's funding. Yeah, that retail shop is deemed unessential, so that income evaporates overnight. When needs increase by over 35% and resources decrease significantly, what do? What can you do? Giving up is not an option. So you go to the Lord in prayer, remembering that He is in control. And just as He has met every need in the past, He will continue to do so during these difficult times. My name is Dean, and I'm the founder of Waco Built and the Waco Marketplace. I met Robert Gager in the beginning of 2020 because the Lord showed me the ministry that Bob, his staff, and their volunteers at the Shepherds Heart Food Pantry are engaged in, meeting the most basic, essential needs of so many people here in the community of Waco, Texas. After going down and visiting Bob for a couple hours, touring the pantry, visiting the Things from the Heart resale shop on Bosque, and hearing how the Lord has been using him so powerfully since the pantry opened in June of 2010, I needed to be a part of what they're doing. And trust me, I'm no one special. If you went down and spent some time with Bob or any of his selfless and generous volunteers, you'd feel the same way, and most likely do the same exact thing. Here in Central Texas, the poverty level is double the national average and accounts for over 30% of the population. Here in Waco, 1 in 4 children under the age of 5 don't know where their next meal is coming from. In 2018, the Shepherds Heart Food Pantry fed almost 30,000 families with over 2.1 million pounds of food. This means on average, the pantry sees about 2,500 families per month who either come into the pantry to obtain food or have their food delivered by volunteers at the pantry. Last month, in April of 2020, the pantry saw 3,422 families, an increase of 37%. Now, with the COVID-19 fears ravaging communities across the nation, many precautions have had to be taken. Due to safety measures at the pantry, people can no longer come in and shop for their food. They have to drive up in their vehicles, form a line in the neighborhood across the street from where the pantry is located, and conduct a drive-through pickup for their food and resources. On May 14, the volunteers at the pantry loaded the vehicles of 516 families and delivered food to 314 families. This was one afternoon. In the past, most of the food that was given to people by the pantry was donated by H-E-B, Walmart, Aldi's, and Target. What wasn't donated was purchased through the Central Texas Food Bank with the funds provided by the Things of the Heart resale shop on Bosque and through the generous donations by those within our community. Unfortunately, many of those resources have disappeared overnight, leaving the pantry carrying an incredible financial load and without much money or food donations coming in at all. And finally, many of the faithful volunteers have been unable to serve in the same capacity that they've served in the past due to the precautions and measures being taken to protect themselves from the COVID-19. The three biggest needs of the Shepherds Heart Food Pantry right now are monetary donations, food, and volunteers. Now more than ever, the pantry needs your help in meeting the needs of the most vulnerable within our community. If you can donate money right now to meet the needs of these families that the pantry serves, please visit our website at www.shepherdsheartpantry.org/donate and consider making a monthly or a one-time donation. A $1 donation to the pantry turns into approximately $33 in food resources that goes to a family. The typical family whose needs are met by the Shepherd's Heart is fed with a simple $5 donation, turning into $165 in groceries. Think of it like this. If you can afford to sacrifice Starbucks coffee for 10 days, that's $50, roughly. And if you were to make a sacrifice and donate that $50 to the Shepherd's Heart, you will be feeding roughly 10 families by providing about $1,650 worth of groceries. And I understand, times are tough and money is definitely tight these days. So if you can't donate money, trust me, we definitely understand. I still want to call you to get involved by either donating food or by donating your time by volunteering down at the pantry. We could use all the help that we can get. And your sacrifice to meet the needs of those in the Wacoan community will definitely be remembered, not by just those at the pantry, not by just those who the pantry serves, but by your Father in heaven will smile knowing that you're being such a blessing to those who need it the most. God bless y'all. We love you and hope to hear from you soon.
When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. Before him will be gathered all the nations, and he will separate people one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will place the sheep on his right, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? And when did we see you a stranger and welcome you, or naked and clothe you? And when did we see you sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king will answer them, "Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me."